So welcome back, guys, to the second session of the GSDV GISF 2023. I hope you're refreshed and ready to dive in onto our next topic. The next theme is going to be on international development business through Korean Innovation Partnership. So it's a pleasure to have you again with us in this virtual space. So we're going to commence this session with the first presenter. And I would like to invite, on that note, I would like to invite Ms. Inda Suvaria to make her presentation. So Ms. Inda, just to introduce her, we are going to have three presenters. The first presenter is Ms. Inta. And Ms. Inta is, please show the profile of Ms. Inta. Yes, Ms. Inda is a PhD student in TMEP at Seoul National University College of Engineering. She has an MBA degree from KAIST College of Business. She has also worked in various managerial roles, such as handling the economic census in regional level in Indonesia. And she's also served as the instructor for many surveys and census in Indonesia, such as the population census, household survey, agriculture census, among others. So Ms. Inda is going to deliver a presentation on tackling environmental degradation in Indonesia. And at this juncture, please let's welcome Ms. Inda Suvaria to deliver a presentation. Welcome, Inda.
Thank you, Lincoln. So right now I'm going to share my presentation. Okay, let me start, Lincoln. So today I'm going to explain about the environmental degradation in Indonesia. So how can we, especially me as an Indonesian citizen, can tackle that environmental degradation in Indonesia through the business or innovation partnership with Korea. So this is my contents for today. I'm going to explain about the Indonesia overview, and then I'm going to explain about two big cities in Indonesia, which is Bali and Jakarta. And I also will talk about what kind of problem that they face on right now related to the environmental. And then after that, I will explain the business development that I'm going to propose to the Korean company here. So this is Indonesia. So Indonesia is the fourth populated country in the world, and the emerging digital economy market. So especially in digital economy market right now, Indonesia, they reach 53 billion USD, and it's expecting in 2030, expecting about 140 billion USD. And in Indonesia, we also have the stable inflation, which is around 3 into 4% in 2022. But in fact, even though we have a lot of improvement in economy, in digital economy, we also have the stable inflation. But the problem is about the population itself. We are most populated, but we also have this problem, the traffic congestion. So the traffic congestion is happening. It's not about only in large city, but also in every city in Indonesia. And then because of that traffic congestion, a lot of people using their own vehicles, and then it affecting to our environmental, especially in air pollution. So air pollution is not come up only about transportation, but also from industry. So in this picture, we can see the air pollution in Jakarta in this area. And this one is the population, the air pollution due to the power plant in big cities also. I'm sorry, okay. And then even though we also have this traffic congestion and it happened to air pollution, but it also happens not only from the transportation, but also happens because of people trying to change the land use into planting use. So they burn the land. So it also affecting to our air quality. So in this picture, you can see people burning the land, just want to change the land into planting use. So I also found the paper related to the environmental degradation in ASEAN country. So in this paper, they mentioned that the indicators of the ASEAN countries which is from GDP, carbon dioxide emissions, energy consumption, and then credit to private sector, foreign direct investment, industry share in GDP. And all of that indicators, it happens or it affecting to the environmental degradation. So as the GDP increasing, as the energy consumption increasing, it means more carbon dioxide emission also increase in that country. So the findings from this paper related to Indonesian condition right now also, it's because of urbanization negatively moderates the impact of energy consumption on environmental degradation. Then they mentioned that urbanization has a long-run negative impact on environmental degradation in ASEAN plus China. So I'm going to talk about the two big cities in Indonesia, which is Jakarta here and Bali. So in these two big cities, right now they have the smart city. Currently, smart city is running in those cities. So in Jakarta, I will briefly talk about Jakarta. So Jakarta, especially not very big in land area. It's only 661.23 kilometer square. So it's not very big, but the population itself is 14.5 million. So it means in those small area, people live there and it's too much, and it's also affecting to the traffic congestion. It's also affecting to the air pollution. And then the GDP itself from Indonesia, it's also came from Jakarta. So as Jakarta have their own GDP, it's about in billion in USD, in dollar, it's about 84 billion USD. And then Bali itself is not also big big cities, but they have land area more than Jakarta. It's about 5,780 kilometers square. And in Bali right now, they have two big region, which is they have their own smart city, which is Badung and Denpasar. So in these two smart city in Bali, they have population density more than 1,000 people per square. So right now I'm going to talk only about Bali first, and then later I will talk about Jakarta. So in Bali, the total tourists that came to Bali every year is increasing. Only during the COVID-19, 2019, 2020, and 2021, it's decreased very very jumped down. But then in 2022, it's come up again into 2.16 million people came to Bali. And the GDP itself from Bali, it came from tourism activity, and it's reached about 3 billion USD. Then I will talk about Jakarta problem. So Jakarta problem, it basically a lot, but related to environmental. Right now, it's about the air pollution. So the air pollution in Jakarta, it comes from transportation because people are commuting. So even though Jakarta is like small area, like the land area is very small, but then people who work in Jakarta, they live in the cities around Jakarta. So they live in different region, but it's around Jakarta. Then they commute from their home into workplace in Jakarta. That's why the air pollution comes from transportation in Jakarta is like reaching almost 40% from transportation. And then other than the transportation, we also have problem from coal-fired power plant, which is surrounded in Jakarta, as you can see in this map. So this particular map, they mentioned that the coal-fired power plant, it's surrounding Jakarta and it's affecting to the air quality in Jakarta itself. And then in Bali, the problem in Bali, due to the massive people, the massive tourists came to Bali, it's affecting to the traffic congestion, of course. And then it's also affecting to the waste. As you can see here, in the beach, they have a lot of waste, unmanaged waste, and people surrounded the beach and the government, they cannot taking care of this kind of waste because it lacks of the management itself. And then in this picture is relating to the tourist and the local people problem. So in Bali, because of the religion in Bali is Hinduism, so they have a lot of religion activity. So some of day in a month, usually because of the holiday activity or religion activity, it is forbidden for tourists to come to that area. So some tourists, they don't know about this particular issue, and then it affecting into local citizen. So usually they just being in conflict due to unknown about the religion activity. So the Bali problem is heavy congestion and overcrowding because of high number of tourists, and then conflict between local residents due to cultural difference, and then no integrated system to file complaints from local citizens and tourists to the government, and lack of waste management. So I'm going to explain the smart city, the current smart city in Bali and Jakarta. So in Bali, they have two current smart city, Badung and Denpasar, and Jakarta, they also have Jakarta Smart City. So Badung and Denpasar, even though they are together in Bali Island, but they are running the smart city separately. That's why they don't integrate the systems to collect the data, to collect the complaints from tourists and from local citizens, because tourists in Bali, they don't just go to Denpasar only, but they go to all of the area in Bali. And Jakarta, actually Jakarta Smart City is doing very well right now, but and they have the services related to the air quality index too. But the thing is, in Jakarta, they lack of the sensor itself. They only have 5 sensor. They only have 5 sensor currently to collect the air quality in Jakarta. So you can imagine how this only 5 sensor can collect all the area of Jakarta in terms of air quality. So the business development that I will create and to partners with the Korean. Right now, it's two type of the business development. So one in the right here, I propose about the low cost moving air quality sensor based on IoT. This one to collect the air quality in Jakarta. And on the right side, it's about the GIS platform, which is this platform can help the tourists in Bali, which is they cannot speak Indonesia very well. They cannot speak Bahasa Indonesia very well. So this platform can help the tourists that came to Bali to communicate with the local citizen and communicate with the government. So this participatory GIS platform basically is a web-based questionnaire. So I will talk about the business development in GIS first, in geographical information system. So basically this one, I'm going to propose this to be partner in Busan with Busan government. Right now, Busan, they develop the Busan Eco City Delta. So they have, right now they have this particular GIS, but this GIS, I think we can develop more, and then we can create the weight-based questionnaire to do the dual communication between the user and the government. So the user itself for the GIS is business entities, citizen, and government. Why business entities? Because in Bali, not only the tourists and local citizen and government who use this GIS, but also the business entities can use this particular system. That's because of they can use this to recommend their business, the tourism business, and they can improve their tourism business into more digital, and it also can affect the digital economy in Indonesia. So the improvement by using this GIS is to preserve norm and culture, and also it can adequate the communication information flows between government, citizen, and also the tourist. And how to promote this innovation? So this GIS, actually they can promote more innovation, especially related to metaverse tourism. So right now, metaverse is very emerged. Then we can use this GIS, and then we can apply the metaverse tourism together with the GIS. And it also can promote the incentive-based platform. Why it's incentive-based platform? So this platform, this GIS platform, can offer the business entities to market their business to tourists and also to citizens by using the recommendation system. So I will explain about the GIS. So this GIS particularly will have this IoT-based map analysis app, and then using the hardware, blah, blah. And then with GIS 2, we also can mapping by recommendation system what kind of preference that users or tourists want in this particular area. So for example, if tourists came to Badung and they came to one restaurant, they can recommend this restaurant to the other tourists through this platform. Because right now there is no platform like this in Bali due to the tourism activity. So this is the business model that I create for the GIS. So I just explain very briefly about the value proposition. So the value proposition that I will provide is related to the tourism activity and related to religion activity, and also about the waste. So unmanaged waste from this platform, citizen or tourist, they can report the unmanaged waste into government, and then once government have notified from this platform that they have unmanaged waste, then government can send the dump truck, the truck for collect the waste. So you actually, this platform is the complaining platform, and then government can taking care immediately after they notified from this platform. And also the recommendation system for tourism purpose. Then I gonna explain about the Jakarta problem related to air quality. So basically, the partnership that I propose is about the moving air quality sensor. So the moving air quality sensor itself, I plan to have to apply this framework on the left side. So the framework itself, we can put the sensor into moving bus or moving taxi. And then because of right now, Jakarta only have 5 sensor, and that 5 sensor is already fixed. I mean, that one is like fixed sensor in one building. So we can use that already sensor as a gateway, and then we can use the moving air sensor to send real-time data to the gateway. So this is the business development that I create for this air quality. We can jump up into this model. So actually the moving air quality sensor, we are going to have the partnership not only with the Korean, but also with the business entities in Jakarta, especially in transportation business entities, which is Grab, Gojek, and also with Jakarta Smart City and Transjakarta. So Transjakarta is like bus, the public bus owned by Jakarta government. And from this particular business model, I hope we can tackle the problem, the air quality problem in Jakarta. So this is actually my business development proposal into partners with the Korean company. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Indah Sulvaria. That was wonderful. And I hope going forward, you're going to have more partnerships and collaborations to sort the environmental degradation issue in Indonesia. Thank you very much once again. And now for the second presentation, just before we get to the second presentation, I would like to make an announcement. We missed Dr. Ali's presentation in the first session because of time constraint and some technical problems. So that presentation is going to be uploaded on GSDV YouTube channels, so you can watch it a little bit later if you like to watch. So Dr. Ali is going to, as presented through video, but that presentation is going to be made available on our YouTube channel for GSDV. So thank you. And then on the next presentation, we're going to have Dr. Kasahun Gelana Micha. Dr. Kasahun is a PhD graduate. So he earned his PhD in Smart City Global Convergence from Seoul National University in August 2023. And he's also an assistant professor at Adama Science and Technology University, ASTU, in Ethiopia. So Dr. Kasahun's educational journey includes the Masters of Science in Information Science from Addis Ababa University and a Bachelor of Science also in IT from Jima University. Before joining SNU in September 2019, he was the Vice President of Institutional Development and Business at ASTU, overseeing various projects, including ICT, construction projects, and facility operations. He also served as the ICT Director for 6 years. He played a key role in upgrading the university's information systems to national standards. He also held various roles as an assistant registrar and dean of the College of Engineering and Technology at Jigjiga University. And Dr. Kasahun has taught a wide range of courses in IT, computer science, information system courses at both at Jigjiga University and ASTU. So he's going to deliver, Dr. Kasahun is going to deliver his presentation on SNU's project consulting success and future prospects, the case of EDCF and ASTU COE's establishment in Ethiopia. Welcome, Dr. Kasahun. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Lincoln. Can you see my slide?
Yes, I can see it, Dr. Kasahun. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your introduction. And very good morning, professors and students from all over the world. Maybe I'm a little bit early in the morning here in Ethiopia, almost 5:30. So I will be presenting briefly about the ongoing project, of course, which started some 3 years with its. So I will be very brief on sharing this experience as one of a member involved in this project during my PhD study. So this is SNU and ASTU's gate for the university used as a cover. So this was when the ASTU and SNU top management met in Guana campus SNU during the project formal launching. So the photo, I mean, then most of them are the directors of this Center of Excellences from both sides, from SNU and ASTU, including the former SNU president and ASTU president and other officials which in charge of this activity. So my presentation outline will be some overview of the project, because it may give to other countries some insight on partnering in such similar project. And I will also brief you the stakeholders involved and the scope of the project, what the scope of the project itself and the current performance, expected outcome, and some challenges and prospects will be covered in my short presentation. So as already mentioned, ASTU stands for Adama Science Technology University, is one of the 2 science technologies in Ethiopia. We have only 2 science technology universities. So these universities have some level of challenges as any other developing countries' universities. So ASTU and the Korean government tried to benchmark some success stories of Korean universities so as to improve the education and research activities of the universities. Accordingly, due to or as a result of having very good diplomatic relations between the Republic of Korea and Ethiopia, the research centers of excellence was conceived to be established through the Korean Exim Bank, through EDCF loan platform with around 100 million USD. So the project was, the project idea or proposal was approved upon the feasibility study by the Korean government. And SNU was selected through competitive bid as it is one of the world-class university to conduct the consulting service of the project that will help us to implement the standard, global standard centers of excellence. So as to see some of the project milestones so far conducted. So as I said, there will be 5 centers of excellence to be established. The center of excellence are namely called centers of not manufacturing, Center of Advanced Manufacturing Engineering, Centers of Advanced Material Science and Engineering, Center of Transport Vehicle Engineering, Centers of Electronics Systems Engineering, and Institute of Pharmaceutical Studies are the 5 centers to be established in ASTU, Ethiopia. So the feasibility was conducted from 2018 to 19 by Yonsei University. And in 2020, SNU with one architecture company called Heian Architects, selected through competitive bid as a consultant to the project. So in this, the consulting service from SNU, as I told you, SNU is represented by GRC. That I will talk in the next slide. So there are lists of research equipment and ERPs for 5 centers of excellence, 5 centers of excellence with closer participation and the confirmation of ASTU faculties. The other is research capacity building, and the RFP document is already developed for bidding. And infrastructure improvement design is also developed, and the project has 4 phases. So the first phase is already completed, and the report is submitted to the client, which is ASTU, and discussion is still underway to overcome some of the challenges, including the budget escalation due to the current trend in the world. So as I said, contractor to be hired by the client, ASTU and the consultant through competitive bidding, and the current status as we are speaking now. So currently the standard bidding documents are prepared, and it is in line with EDCF guideline. So I hope in the coming few months the contractor which supplies the project will be selected. So regarding the scope of the project, as I earlier touched it, so the project has a scope in keeping the research center of excellence, as this research center of excellence, equipping with standard research equipment with this ERP system. The second one is educating these researchers, professors, and technical assistants, or conducting the capacity building module so as to sustain the project. The other one is facility improvement of the project sites by doing some renovation works of the building as to build for this purpose. So these were like some of the meetings conducted here in Ethiopia, in ASTU. So as to briefly say something about the consulting service, as SNU is represented by GRC, a little bit of the GRC, they are working on, this is GRC is established in 2003, graduated more than 300. I think the number is also includes the KAIST IT TP professionals, benefited up to or more than 17 countries across the world, mostly of developing countries, partnered or partnerships of more than 21 organizations and countries were conducted, and host similar conferences or international conference of GSDV and others every year. So GRC works in these 5 areas. That is why one of these is selected. So educational and professional training programs, R&D partnership, global cooperation research and global consulting, international conferences are some of the. So this is one of the 6 buildings built for these 5 centers of excellence. This is one of the main research building. So as I said, the project, we expect something. So project expected outcomes at the end of the project. As I said, there will be 5 center of excellences that will improve the research environment. It will create a better teaching and research for graduate students and faculties, and create better experience and working procedure in the research ecosystem in the university. And also it's expected to create better R&D leaders from the project implementation. And above all, it will serve as the model for laboratories in the national level for other universities. Beyond that's a project, there has been a lot of experience that was conducted, similar project conducted by Korean universities and institutions here in ASTU. And also there are a lot of partnership in training ASTU faculties in different Korean universities, including SNU. And there are also some projects that I want to mention is material science and engineering department was fully sponsored and furnished, and capacity building were conducted by PostTech. And also Koika ICT Center project was supported through grant to improve, which is indicated in this picture, to improve its e-learning environment. And there are also participation from GRC in joint curriculum development for technology innovation management program for PhD and MSc program, which is currently running, where I am now working. So ASTU and the Korean universities are also working toward this faculty training that I already mentioned earlier. So as to see some challenges, actually few of them, not a big, but a little bit due to the current. So the first one is differences of wish list of research equipments between the project feasibility study and the current level of demand. As we progress in the project, there are different, because as the faculties get more and more awareness, they start asking more and more research equipments, which will be a challenge in the EDCF regulations. The second one is the global price escalation. As you all know, from 2019 until now, there are a lot of events happened, including this global supply chain, COVID and others, and then prices of goods and items and research equipment is escalated. So it becomes a challenge. The other is a challenge of project management members and the consulting professor from the client and consultant side. That means whenever a professor changes, the consultant changes, there will be some challenges that will happen in the process. So as to see the prospects of this project, I hope the project will create adequate awareness of the importance of the project. We need to do this, and assigning proper project management during the implementation of the phase, because this is also like a bilateral country-to-country project, which needs special attention, and we need to creating a closer cooperation with the Korean Exim Bank and the client during each phase, and having good communications so as to smoothly implement the project. And we need to also compromise some of the non-essential lab equipments to overcome the price escalation, and above all, speeding up the project implementation phase to reduce further project risks will be some of the issues that I want to share. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kasahun, for the good presentation about the partnerships that have taken place between Korea and Ethiopia in terms of the development of the research centers of excellence. Thank you very much for that presentation.